4? We've got 4.
I thought you had
Nope.
No, 4.
4 out of 7.
We only have 7.
Good evening. We have the Recreation Commission
better tonight.
October 13th meeting. We have 4 members present. We have a quorum. Let's start with the fastest one we've got going. We have a request that came before the
Yeah.
board on the use of town hall for,
Yes, so.
7th, November 7th.
November
Right.
7th, we're doing an 80s, 90s flashback night with a live band. And we requested, and you guys approved via email, approval, so we just wanted to come here and thank you for approving, but also just find out, any regulations or anything that we need to be aware of for.
so police, obviously, it's BYOB. You've already contacted the police department.
Yep.
They'll have somebody there.
Insurance finder.
Any other concerns?
The insurance certificate, is that it?
Yeah, no,
That's what Andy had
no,
asked about, right.
I'll do it again.
I'll fix the lighting.
What was that? I missed. What'd you say, Joe?
No new lights.
Oh, the binder.
Just need strobe lights and pyrotechnics.
Oh, no.
So you already have the binder?
Oh, yeah, we
I haven't
have
done
the
yet,
pyrotechnics
just
also.
waiting for all
Oh,
the
okay.
quotes before I paid the money for the
Okay,
binder.
got it. No, Andy was the one that, I mean,
And he's a basketball tryout.
yes, and he's a basketball
I
tryouts.
don't know what Andy's concerns were. He didn't voice any. He just wanted to make sure that we went straight up above board, that we didn't get one thrown in here that we would then be tied to down the road. I don't think he had any specific gripes towards what we were doing. Have you got it up on our website, or are you guys sold
No,
out?
can you make sure, because last
Yeah,
year.
Andy has
we
not-
ran into that issue last year where it wasn't on the calendar and somebody else booked a.
Right.
Yard sale that day inside, and it was a little bit of a conflict.
And
Let me double check.
you'd also have basketball starting at that point too. I'm not sure if the instruction will be there, but what time do you need to get in there by?
3, 4 o'clock.
4 p.m. 4 p.m. to midnight was the request.
That
So,
that shouldn't have an issue then.
no.
So we also wanted to request whether or not we could utilize the sign at the bottom of the talent. We have a sign that we can put up, if we can hang it there, if that's okay with you guys.
And you know, you can request these too,
Yes, we're in the process of doing that.
and I can put it on a Facebook page if you want to send.
And-
Well, was there details on that?
That's what I was gonna say. Do you have anything, Jen, to like a
Yeah,
document that you
I
can
have it on
email
my
us?
Facebook page, I can forward it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, email to us and we can put it on the website and he can do a Facebook. It's not on the calendar yet, so we need to get Andy to update calendar.
Thank you for not doing another comedy night that everybody always does.
That was, at the end of the year, people requested that we do something else.
And the lead singer of the band is a CHS alumni, and
Oh.
also the girlfriend of Coach Beatty, so it's like a great kind of connection to the town and to lacrosse. So.
There's actually 4 members of the band that came live alumni.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
see, look at that.
And they're playing 80s and 90s music.
And they'll play a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
And we're counting on you all to come and dress up, so. Can you count on that?
Well, what?
You have to
Dress
grow,
up.
you have to grow a mullet before that.
Yeah, okay. Get my hair back.
Yeah, you might
down
want to move
here.
the date back.
Yeah. So I'll ask that Andy update the
You guys all
calendar.
set? We'll update the Facebook page as we get information, and Andy will take care of the calendar.
And Joe, you'll just send in the binder?
Yeah,
When you
I'll
get it?
forward it as soon as I
Okay.
get it back from the insurance company.
Perfect.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
And you guys, do you have the code to get into the
Yes.
shed?
Yeah.
To get the chairs and tables and everything you need?
Yeah.
Good.
John, are they doing a meeting for all the sports for the winter, setting up times again?
That's what I wanted to,
Andy did put,
that was one of the items I put on the,
He sent out an email on it.
we didn't get it.
I didn't see it.
I thought he sent an email about a week ago.
Something came out not long ago, yeah.
Something just about having a meeting,
Oh.
which was last Tuesday.
There it is. Town hall season scheduling meeting every 3 months on the first Tuesday. Doesn't have a specific date. I think he's just got it set up as to send out a reminder every 3 months.
No, there is a specific date. It's the second, if it wasn't
It says the first Tuesday is all it says on it.
first Tuesday, right, which would have been last Tuesday. So it's the first Tuesday, that's why Pickleball had an email to us saying,
Oh, yeah,
What's-
'cause they're on there for the next year.
right, yeah. So,
So we can can assume it will be Tuesday the 3rd.
It would have been last week.
No, it's November.
Oh, it's November.
Yeah, Andy sent out an email.
Oh, it says, does that say November 3rd, Keith?
Yeah, it doesn't say, it just says town hall scheduled meeting. It says changed, and it just says every 3 months, 7 to 8 on the first Tuesday.
Oh, maybe let me look.
I'll email you.
The last one was August, so it would be November then.
Yeah.
Which makes the most sense,
Yep.
because that's when basketball would have an idea of how many players they have, and that's
Yeah.
the biggest impact anyway.
Yeah, we do Sunday nights, so it doesn't conflict.
So that would be first Tuesday.
No, it's on the website. It was October 6th. It was May 5th, August
Yeah, it
4th.
says changed
But he
on-
changed it, right. So it
Okay.
would have been last Tuesday or Monday. He's since changed it to
The third-
November.
The third
Third.
would be the first Tuesday.
Okay.
Let me just confirm that with Andy.
Took that long to load. Just came up.
Now, it sounds like some of you received the invitation, but some didn't.
I didn't receive.
Okay, because
John got it.
the fellow behind you, yeah. And you're with
Soccer.
soccer. Okay, so soccer got it, but lacrosse didn't.
Well, Litchfield across didn't get it either.
And I don't think it shows, I think it's kind of blind
Well,
CC'd.
I've got, me, Sandy, well, all of us, Russ Pelham, LRBL, Bosky, Brunel, Philbrick, Keith Kay, Kuskowski, Jonathan Craig, Scott Taylor, Sandra Darling, Andy Collins, Ben, and Jeanette Parker. That's just on the list.
Except us. That covers the work.
So who needs to be added to that?
Joe LaRose.
One on the Gmail,
Yeah.
is it lacrosse, Campbell Lacrosse? I think is how it reads.
Yeah.
Oh, done.
Are you gonna do?
I got it up right here.
Okay.
You had
Thank
it
you.
now? No problem.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Have
Thank
fun.
you. Good luck tomorrow, Jen.
Maybe I'll see you down there
Good luck.
with my mullet. All right, you're up.
Ryan,
Ready to sit?
Sure.
Awesome. I like sitting. Sitting is nice. Sitting is comfortable. So, my name is Ryan Blow. I'm with Troop 11, here in Litchfield. And I'm working towards my Eagle. And so I came up with an idea for an Eagle project of renovating the, Zero Pond sign. So, lot of things going on. So, my plan was to you guys can create a whole new design as whatever you would like. Now create a sign like the ones near Sawmill with like you can put information on the sign instead of below. So that way you can post more information to people coming and going. And also to build an informational kiosk in between the talent hall and the fields. So like right near the entrance, so that way you can post information and people can know what's going on that day. Basically as I said, making the new sign and the kiosk with my ideas. And also if we decide to do this, if it is okay, if I get your approval, may I have some fundraising events for these things at softball or other events at DARE, to make sure that I get enough fundraising in order to be able to do this.
I'll go first, I guess. So, great idea. Love to see a new sign put up there. That one's certainly beaten up. The planning as such, I mean, in the past, we kind of worked with a design that you came up with, or you want to come up with for how you would like to build it, because it really depends on your own abilities, and talking to Kevin to make sure we cover all the rules and so forth. As far as fundraising, we're open to all kinds of things. I think they did some fundraising at the Winterfest last
I'm sure you know
year.
Harrison, right?
Yeah.
So he did the other one.
I work with Harrison
Yeah.
on his fundraising project.
But any fundraising you would do would also have to go to that organization. So for instance, basketball has games at the middle school all winter long. As long as basketball said yes, as far as we're concerned, we're always like, yeah, great. But they'd have to approve something like that. Like typically basketball doesn't have anybody sitting out there doing any fundraising at their events. Softball already has a concession stand, but that does not mean they would say no to something like that. You get our support, and we give you the encouragement to who to talk to and so forth, depending where it is, as softball season is ended. But we're heading into the winter season. I'm not sure your time frame for starting fundraising. But that'll really be up to, we can work together on that. Not a problem.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, we have Winterfest coming right around the corner. Familiar with what Harrison did.
No, he did all our concessions. He did hot dogs and I think, and
Drinks, hot cocoa, yeah.
so we have a group that's doing that now, but doesn't mean that you can't do something else.
Other things, right.
Off the top of my head, like last night, we had a Winterfest meeting last night, we talked about, hey, maybe we'll sell cotton candy this year, or something like those kind of things. So maybe you could kind of throw something outside of what the Lions Club is doing. It doesn't have to be concessions if you had other ideas too.
Right.
I mean,
Ryan, what's your time frame?
I haven't necessarily gotten a definite time frame at this point. The time frame is when I turn 18, and I am right now 14. So.
Oh, okay. So we have some time.
Yeah,
So we have time to raise funds. I mean, so certainly we could do something in the spring with softball, like you mentioned, basketball. I mean, you tell us, Ryan, what you would like to do, and we can reach out to the organizations and say, we have an Eagle Scout who's planning this project, would like to fundraise at your event. I mean, there's plenty of, you have soccer that doesn't have any concessions down at Sawmill. They may be open to having someone over there grilling or just selling things, whatever you want to do, but there's plenty of organizations, I think, that would happily have you attend and do something.
We
soccer.
have a Thanksgiving football game coming up. don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yep, Thanksgiving.
In November, we'll have the town turkey bowl
Yeah.
there, so we do something there too.
I mean,
So our calendar is probably your best way of looking and seeing what events are going on in town.
yeah, it is and isn't. I mean, our calendar,
Gives them a starting place.
pickleball.
Yeah, it gives them a starting place towards things.
Gives you a lot of
to look at,
pickleball
all the
dates.
Organizations.
Yes, I mean, but, are you looking to just cook hot dogs? I mean, if you want to think about it, there's no answer tonight.
Well, I was mostly trying to come here to get your approval on the project, so that way I can get more people's approval and then get my Eagle board to
Okay.
approve of the project. Nothing has to be set in stone necessarily today. This is more of, this is my Eagle project. What do you guys think? Have any feedback? And do you guys approve of what of my plan?
So, well, I'll make a motion that we start the process of approving an Eagle project, subject to the plans being reviewed by the board or individual board members.
I second.
Any discussion towards that? We'll go around the same boat that I guess we did
Yeah.
towards Harrison's. We'll just get the information back, but that at least gets you started. And obviously you started talking to Kevin, that helps too. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
400. You ready to roll?
The one at Sawmill, I don't know if you had thoughts of what you were thinking of, what kind of a design you might want to do. I don't know, I don't even know if you are allowed to do it, but if you wanted to just copy what he has there, I think it's a great sign.
Yeah.
Protected from the weather. I think adding a signboard, we could talk about that. I know we've talked about it in the past about whether we want to have a signboard out there for, a message board, but, adding something like that might be a good idea. But the actual design of the sign itself, so if you would build the structure and we would make up the sign to put it, and
Now, you
so
mentioned,
have that design.
Do you?
Yeah,
Of course.
so I say that just for that reason.
right, and Ryan, you mentioned building the kiosk as well, and I'm guessing it's similar to the one that's down at Sawmill? With the
Yeah.
same,
That same
Latch and all-
concept with the latch protected from weather. You put up little notes and post-its and all that sort of stuff.
Because when you're going down, I'm not sure where you envision the kiosk going, or if we say where the kiosk goes. When you go down to Dara Pond, there is that kind of
There's an
information, there is an information
I think-
sign.
And I think that's more related to like DES
Fishing,
stuff,
right.
You know, fishing game, more pond related, you know, down there. But,
So what would the kiosk have on it? Would
well,
we envision?
it would be whatever anyone wanted to put on it. If we had, you know, we could use, it'd be something we could use at Winterfest, put information.
Would it be maybe
out.
more up front near Talent, stuck up outside of Talent? Just wondering where we'd put the kiosk. I like the idea of the kiosk, but do you have an idea?
I had an idea.
Okay.
For the kiosk, how you enter with the gate,
Mm-hmm.
how the gate opens and closes in that road, and then you have that little loop that goes around Town Hall.
Yep.
And the road continues. The first entryway to like that loop and there, that little like L somewhere within that area, so that way people walking in to go see their kid for a softball game can
Yep.
see the sign, and people walking into Town Hall can also see the sign. So it's more like for those two, like you can put up a sign for like the tournaments held at there. You can put up a sign that says this is all the games going on at all the different times, and this is the field that they're on, so that people know now, okay, we need to be here at this time.
Yeah, I like it.
Or like for what I just heard for the for that like kind of talent hall thing, you could put up like a sign that could be for talent hall on like another section of the board that says, hey, we have an event going on at Talent Hall. All people interested can come and support us at Talent Hall.
I like it. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
We can put our Winterfest sign-up sheet for volunteers up there.
Sounds
Start
good.
that early, start that right.
That's
after
right,
Winterfest.
yep. That's right. Sounds good, Ryan. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sounds good, Brian. We'll be talking to you.
All right.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
Do you have something for us, or you just here to visit?
I'm just here to see what's going on.
Oh, how nice.
We're looking for volunteers.
Always looking for volunteers.
I volunteer for so many things, but
Oh, he
You know,
can
I'm
squeeze
always
one more in? One more item?
So,
We're here now.
trunk or treat.
Yes,
That
trunk or
was-
treat.
That was one of our events that we need to take a quick vote on.
Correct.
We've got,
They did it last year.
And-
It didn't have many attendees, as they said, but I think it was late in the game.
it was,
So it's trick or treating for younger kids in the parking lot.
Yeah.
They go car to car in the parking lot. People have it set up in their trucks.
it explains the word schmuck.
It's cute. It's cute. So it was for, actually, the day of Halloween,
which is a sad day.
which is a Saturday, and it's only requesting the parking lot area only at Dara, and it's from noon to 2.
All sides.
And children 4 and under, they'll decorate their trunks. Children will trick or treat and receive small snacks or gifts from other participants. They do not require the use of Talent Hall or any of the fields, but please advise if there are other events scheduled for that same time. So, I don't believe I don't know, aside from pickleball on Saturday afternoon, we're done. I know Blast is not doing anything that day. They're done.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, unless there's another Halloween event, I don't think anyone's doing anything that day at all. Fall ball, you know,
Well, football's Sunday.
so that, yeah.
So the only thing that practices that Saturday that I'm aware of is Blast U12, and they're done, I think, after this
And
weekend.
it's just the parking lot anyway.
And it's just, right, but I'm talking parking. Having people parking. I can't recall last year, did we tell them that only do one side so people could actually,
We'd actually asked her to
Park on the
stay to
other?
the right side of the parking lot last year,
okay.
which with the number of people they had, there was no problem at
Yeah.
all. Make a motion?
I motion that we approve the request to hold trunk or treat at Dara Pond, or Dara Pond parking lot, on Saturday, October 31st, from noon to 2, for children 4 and under.
Second.
A second? Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. All right.
0-0.
I'll contact Tina and Jesse.
I'll put that on the Facebook page as well.
Thank you. I did see, did you see that I asked her if she had some sort of,
Flyers.
because last time they gave a, yeah,
Yeah.
they gave a doc with a little flyer, so I'll, approved.
So Kevin, what do you got here? All set, there are 4 lights out,
Oh, yeah, I was consistent. Yeah, if man makes it, it'll go out. We got 3 out in this building as of tonight. 4 out. There was 3 working last night, the other night, that was 4.
And those will all be replaced with LEDs, which is
Change
a,
out the fixtures.
which is a
I'm
bonus.
gonna get rid of the Mercury Vapor style and get the LED, similar to what I got out here. Okay, that I stuck out there, because they're gonna be low enough, they're gonna shine, but they're not that expensive, they just change right there in the same fixture. And I don't have to worry about changing light bulbs. Or the Mercury, or the switches, or,
Cheaper to operate too, right?
yeah. The only the good one you've got is in the back of the building, that is already an LED. So that one there, I haven't had any trouble with since it went up. I'm going to try to light up the heating system area a little bit, okay? So the cage area. Since winter, we will be in there again. It's a family thing, we like to meet there when it gets cold. All good.
we talked today about, there's a possibility that somebody is starting a playgroup up again?
Oh, I haven't heard that.
That-
Yeah, I
Oh.
caught wind of that today when I was trying to get the pickleball group where they keep the toy box, that big wheel of toys, okay, where the heater is on the wall next to the cabinet and the outside wall. I was gonna pull the heater off the wall, because it's never been used, and I've been here.
In the kitchen?
Yeah, in the kitchen area. I was gonna get a cabinet that was big enough to put the pickleball stuff all in one spot, where they close it up, but they now have a pitcher that throws the pickleballs at them, okay, that they bought. So I was looking to get something that can lock that in, but then I was told that maybe the childcare thing's coming back and they use that. So I'll find out more tomorrow. Okay, I'm meeting with them around 9.
Well, the playgroup also has, assuming they're gonna start up again, they also have the whole shed that's right there too, so.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, I may move that whole thing out somehow. And there, the other thing I'm looking at is up on the stage on both sides of the door, is 2 big box type storage cabinets, because you got so many groups going in with basketball. Then you got the baseball, they got their pads or the other things they use, and indoor soccer too or something. They got some of their gear they use. Have a place where instead of storing it on the stage and walk away, at least so they didn't store it correctly. But I'm looking at that now. I don't want to ruin the stage too much with anything, I want to make it look good still. That's the whole purpose, because the stage is the stage. Try to make it look good, that's all. Try to be consistent. Or I may put one on one side, one on the other side, so I can hide the chairs. Because right now we stack chairs up there between something, you know? I'm trying to, it's all right with you. Got groups that are willing to do it, find some old cabinets that we can put there that are good, secure them to the wall, and they won't fall down, and they're lockable. And that group
Yeah,
can,
it should be something that's secured, because you don't want kids climbing on them.
it's all secured to the wall, that's the purpose, okay? The same thing down below. That's why I was thinking inside the kitchen, there's a big enough space to put a bigger one in there that'll take care of a lot more than what we got now. Are you still looking to change out the sink?
I would love to get rid of that sink.
What's that?
We may need it for Winterfest.
I know, but the sink is the size of this table.
I know, it's huge.
And all we do is rinse mops in it.
I know.
I think we could get a little sink and have cabinets in there. That whole thing, that whole wall could be cabinets with a countertop in a normal size,
Yeah.
utility sink.
It does take up, I mean, because I know pickleball wants water and stuff. It would be good if they could stack something, but it does, that thing is so long.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of kitchen remodeling going on. A lot. and amazing what you may find
Wonderful, it's wonderful stuff.
that we use to put in there to get the caterpillar on the whole side. I'll be talking to my general contractors. The demoing is quite good, we have a place to put it. With a sink, maybe 2. Okay?
Nice.
Take care of that. I'm just trying to think of where I can find certain things. If you say it's okay to drop the sink out of there, I'm a happy guy, and we'll make it work.
Keith will be happy too.
I motion to remove the sink if we find a suitable replacement.
Motion, grant.
Second.
Any discussion on that? I have no issue with this.
Considering town hall's town property, shouldn't the board of selectmen approve that? I mean, our facility manager's recommending it too, so I'm not gonna go against it and say
I
it.
know, just,
At the end of the day, I do think it
Perhaps,
is.
yeah. I
At the end of
guess.
the day, it is, the structure is owned by the town, and the board should be at least be made aware of it. But, I'm in support of it too, so.
We let the board know?
I will let the board know.
That sounds good.
I don't think they'll argue, I just, when you're making remodeling, it should be their decision. but-
I think the space is the biggest issue.
I think this
Yeah,
came
well-
from a donation in the first place, and we're gonna donate it back.
And if we could replace it with some cabinets, so we actually have other storage there and the countertop. Because even for Winterfest, I think we put plywood across the sink,
Oh, yeah,
so
it's,
to use it
yeah.
as countertop, there's no space in there. So, it'd be good to get rid of that.
Case closed, we'll remodel.
All those in favor?
Oh, sorry, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
400, sounds good. We've got a motion to take care of that.
It won't be something, it's just gonna be something that we can get from somewhere to do something.
Sounds
okay?
good. You sent me an email about 69 grand in impact fees. Do you have a
Yeah.
type?
I was wondering about that.
$69,000 at the time we looked at it, that still remains in the impact fees that have not been
That's
accounted.
actually all new money, though.
It potentially is either, it's probably net new from the time we voted to approve your funding for a sawmill.
Yeah, I emptied that.
Yeah, we did
You
empty it,
emptied-
yeah.
You emptied what we granted you, that doesn't mean that was what it was.
No,
in
we
impact.
emptied all of it.
Ah,
Because it
well.
came back for a second approval on Thursday.
Well, it's $69,000 in that account that's unaccounted for at this point.
So I think the oldest of those funds is probably, what, 4 years?
Yeah, none
Yeah.
none of it's due to expire until I want to say 18, but I'm not sure.
We're not looking to rush into this, but we keep talking about doing something at Sawmill Brook as a playground facility and so
I think-
forth.
Yeah, we actually
I
talked
mean,
about
that's
that
a-
last night.
Yeah.
A good chunk into something like that.
Yeah,
Correct.
I mean, we could actually do, with that amount of money, we could do a pavilion and a playground there.
Well, the other discussion was around, is the sawmill actually finished, right? And what are you gonna do there and all that?
Yeah, there's a few things.
I mean, the
in
o-
there, but
yeah,
Aside from like adding lights,
That's what we keep talking. It's not just one facility.
that kind of stuff.
Which facility gets the lights? But we do think lights would just benefit, I don't care wherever it is, but it would just,
Well, the one
field usage, whatever if you put it, it's just the fields have so much more time to be used, as opposed to everything getting shut down at 6 o'clock in October.
69 grand's not gonna get you to touch
Yeah, it's not
any
gonna
kind of
get you,
lights.
get you one
No?
right in the middle.
No.
How much is it? I mean, what do
We were
lights?
talking to light the field over at Campbell, $1.60 to $1.90.
I sent, did I send everyone that report? I found a report on a field lighting project, and they had a full, I forget what city this was for, but it was very similar to what we have, but they wanted to light it. And they had a field lighting committee that got together, and they put together this full report. And it had the total cost, it had the installation costs, the operating costs, ongoing things. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I didn't think it was that much. I thought maybe 100.
Well, Campbell, they were trying to expand the fields too. I mean, there was a whole portion of that project. They wanted to make the place larger to be able to do more than what it was, and that mindset
Yeah.
that Coach Patterson had in
Could-
his head.
Could a warrant article say, okay, the town is willing to, say we have 70 or 80 grand in impact fees. Is it possible to say, okay, the town has $80,000 in impact fees, could we propose a warrant article to cover the rest of it?
Yep.
You can split the cost between.
Yeah, the warrant would say, project cost $200,000, offset by impact fees of blah, it'll be worded that way, yeah. You could do that, but I mean, earlier we were talking about AEDs, all the other things you were
I
talking about too.
understand, I
so
do, yeah, that would be sweet. I thought we were doing a warrant, only because Andy was talking about doing a warrant article for
You
the,
should, right, warrant, I mean, that kind of warrant I think would get passed anyway. People want to make sure the fields are safe. Of course, the other issue too is budget. Your budget's still not approved. And I don't know if that's an agenda on tonight, but you're actually overdoing your budget.
Okay. I guess I'll have to talk to him tomorrow then.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, because we did not vote on it at all, we reviewed it, but it's what it was last year, and I know you have all the incurred costs you want to put. I think your landscaping costs went up, and a couple of treatments you need to factor in this year. So, yeah, if you haven't talked to Troy, talk to Troy.
All right.
I
I'll stop
thought,
in and
I
talk to
thought
Troy
Jason
tomorrow.
made an adjustment on that.
What's that?
He may have done it, but it's not documented that way, so.
Okay.
Because as far as I knew, the commission never voted on it, the board of selectmen's not gonna move on it either.
Okay.
Without your agreement, so.
All right, I thought that was fine.
Get with Troy, let him know where the status is. I think we have our next meeting next Monday. I think it will end up being late to the budget committee, either way, but especially if you're not prepared to talk about it tonight.
I'll swing in and talk to Troy then. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was gonna be a big deal, it's just, you guys have to approve it and factor, and also give us an idea what those warrants are too, because the budget committee would like to understand, outside of the regular operating budget, what other things you may be asking the residents for. So we talked about the AEDs at one point, what else,
I
right?
think that was our main thing, and Andy said he was gonna,
Right.
yeah, that was our main.
I haven't seen anything from him on that, but.
No, I'm gonna,
The
I'm
other,
just gonna send you a
I think
quick.
the other thing that we discussed, and I don't remember if this was going in the direction of a warrant article, but there was two things, security cameras and Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Upgrading the security system. Do we have any, I know we got some, there was that company with the wireless cameras or something.
Yeah, you have to have Wi-Fi out there for that too. And you have to have power, or you can do solar, I suppose, and they have a battery. You have to have poles to put them on. You don't have very many poles to put them on. So if you had existing light poles and stuff like that.
There is one over by the pavilion, there's a pole and a light.
So you only expecting to cover certain areas?
Yeah, well, I mean, and then on the other side, you'd have something about the parking lot, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Those are the big areas, the playground area, the pavilion, snack shack, and then the parking lot, but.
I mean, I think using the impact fees too to do a playground or something, and the other thing we talked about last night was baseball. Trying to do something for baseball,
Yeah.
because they don't have a facility, a true facility to call their own. It's,
Oh, yeah, they got bumped.
what's that?
They got bumped.
Yeah, I don't, so there's a few things that would be nice to do something with those fees.
So, the budget,
Nice.
if we're gonna have to vote on that, I guess that's something we'll
I'll
have to
talk
do
to
it-
Troy and I'll send it out. and
Or we
can-
call a special meeting to do
Yeah,
it,
you do that.
to get it done.
Yep.
I mean, it would be a quick
Right.
meeting, but.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, do we have to give numbers for the AEDs, for the warrant article? I'm gathering.
You can say you're going to be
Putting a warrant article.
seeking warrant out for ADs. A rough estimate would be nice, just so the budget committee would know, but those warrants aren't really due to the end of the year. But as they're factoring what they're gonna approve and what they're gonna pull out for other warrants, they may wanna know ahead of time. So, and I told the board that you were considering a warrant for that such of a
Yep.
project, and they seem to be fine with it, but.
Yeah, I would imagine just going to the fire chief on that would be the best way to get info on.
Yeah, although I thought Andy did have some estimates on at least the units and also the enclosures, but definitely, I think, as I suggested back then, was let's talk to the chief, and I did bring it up to the chief, so he would be aware that you were gonna be approaching him, but I don't know, I don't know if Andy has, or if anybody really has.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Anything you need to go through?
No, you had, there was some email about the porta potties, or was it just they're being removed?
Oh, and Kevin, he left. Because I wanted to ask, you mentioned the porta potties were being taken off the field. Now, Kevin was it winter or spring or whatever, he had said that, Dave Septic had said, we could actually keep them at the field for like a $25 cleaning
Yeah, I talked to the guy,
fee.
when he came in to take them out, and maybe it was after Winterfest, and he said, you can just
Right.
leave these here all year. We can just come in and we
clean
we
them,
treat them,
yeah.
and they, we, like, chemically treat them for the winter. They empty them, everything, but they leave them in place and then they seal them up, so that you're not paying for them, but it saves them moving them back and forth
And storing them.
every few months. So they basically just winterize it and leave it in place and seal it so that it can't be used. So we can do that. That would be something we would do after Winterfest. And he said, I don't think there's any additional cost. It's it's the same. It just,
Well, Dara's not moving anyway. Dara stays year-round. It's the other fields.
Right.
And then it comes down to, are they gonna get damaged being there all winter with no use and so forth?
that's up to them. I mean, is that our liability or theirs?
It's really theirs.
I mean, so
It would really be their
it
choice.
really
at
seemed
that
like
point.
he was saying, this really saves us coming in and moving it for you, and then a few months later moving it back.
So the request I got back from Mike was to keep.
November 7th or something like
November
that.
8th.
Yeah, after
for
there.
3 of the fields. I didn't get a response back from Russ Pelham yet as far as the baseball fields. I'll talk to Kevin, because he's the one who's gonna be doing the contact anyway, as part of the facilities. He's the one who called me today, saying, hey, this is time of year, we're starting to think about this, when do you want me to do it? So, I got back to him, he already knows what's going on, and so if
Okay.
I hear from Russ or not, I'll let him know and let him ask those guys and work that out. Because cost-wise, having Kevin do it all has actually brought the cost down for all the units,
Yeah.
which is good.
Well, I don't know if Kevin's coming back in or if he's gone, but if he doesn't come back in, I'll check with him and see if he can find out about if they want to just leave them in place,
Okay.
winterize them in place, and then do it that way. No, I'll ask him. I'll find out about liability.
Yeah, the only concern I got in pulling them out from baseball a couple months ago was when we yank them out, when we put them back in on time. Which, with Kevin, that's really not really a problem. He'll be all over that in March.
Do we know who is responsible for the one at GMS?
Us.
It
now.
is, okay.
It's ours now.
It is now. It
Yeah.
is now.
Bill Gray was doing it for baseball, and it's on ours now.
It is now, okay.
Yeah.
So if we come to the consensus of keeping it, would that one just stay there too? I mean, because last year, I think it was just, this spring, it took a couple weeks for it to get there.
That was one of the ones that was requested by Bosky to keep in until November 8th as well. When I talked to Bill Gray about it, baseball is the one who ordered it in the spring, and they thought we were ordering it, and it got into that whole delay process. That's why it's on our list now, as far as, instead of baseball's list. It was a mixed-use facility anyway.
It was.
And baseball was paying for the whole thing,
Okay. Yeah, no.
which they're struggling.
Yeah, they have a lot of competition with other sports
Yeah.
and minimal facilities. So
Anybody have anything else?
Well, and again, Kevin's gone. It comes back to Dara. We're paying, and they look lousy. And it's not, I don't think it's A&A. I just don't know what we're gonna do about this water situation.
Yeah.
My question, I guess, to the board, I mean, I walked down Sawmill today, it's beautiful. It looks good. I mean, there's a couple patchy areas, but comparably, it's 10 times better than what Dara looks like now. I realize that Sawmill is using a well for this irrigation system. Dara has to drain from Dara Pond,
no,
right?
they're both on a well.
Both on a well.
The problem is that the water vein that pulls from is like the main vein that everything pulls from. So that's the one that they watch. I guess they're very concerned about the water levels. Including Hudson. Hudson uses that same water supply.
I think they're concerned about any municipality draw anyway in general. They're
Well, they
obviously
didn't
school-
seem
they're
to care
concerned
about
They're
our
concerned
others.
about the school also, same reason.
Right, but I think that's because it's in that same area, right?
As far as I understand it, almost all of Litchfield's in the same aquifer, same draw. Maybe they just don't maybe they don't know about Sawmill, who knows, right? But I would think the same concern is there. If they're watering as
We
much-
use more water at Sawmill than we do at Dara.
Yeah. Is there
We're not
a
regulated down
meter
there.
on there? Is there a meter on Sawmill?
No, they didn't care about that one.
The only one they have regulated, and that was a request to regulate, was Dara Pond.
Yeah, and I know it's because of the close proximity to the pond, I definitely know that's why, but.
Okay, so I was.
Well, so if we're limited, and this is, yeah, again, I wish Kevin was still here for this, but if we're limited to 20,000 gallons per day, which I think is what
Yep.
we are,
We are.
that's, should be more than sufficient, because that's what we use as sawmill.
I would,
We use
well,
20
do
20
we? We don't know.
Well, that's what it was calculated at when we put it in.
Okay.
It was calculated at 20,000 gallons a day.
Okay.
So, if that's the case, well, that's our limit, then it is what it is. Now, we just need to make sure that if we need all of that water, that we're using all of that water, that we're not limiting it to, so that we're using 17,000 gallons a day or less or whatever, and our fields are in the shape that they're in. We need to make sure if we're limited to 20,000, then we use all of that 20,000 if it's needed. Obviously, in a rainy season, you don't need that, when it's cooler, but midsummer, you definitely.
Yeah, and that's what I would expect, because honestly, I haven't turned my sprinkler system on, and my lawn looks green. So I would think, because I'm just wondering what's happened to Dara. It just is looking, and I don't know if the sprinklers are even running anymore. I don't even know
Well, I
what's.
think wasn't there some pump issues or some?
There
scheduling issues
was, I mean, there was a
with
few issues there. One, they started late. We had twice, we had pump issues this year. And both of them happened to be like in the middle of a heat wave, so it was tough on it.
And I don't think it's for lack of A&A's effort. I'm not trying. I think there's something we either need to
Well,
figure out.
they did
sprinkler
slice
system.
seed it, right?
They did slice seed it. Yep.
So it's not something that takes time to get it back, I mean, over the last couple of years, it really, the work that was being done, or maybe wasn't being done to it over the last couple of years that it should have been, is showing now, I think.
Maybe that's it. I guess maybe we just keep an eye on it and see come spring, are we truly using the 20,000 a day?
And we also.
Hitting all the zones.
We've had the issue of about 4 different people adjusting
I know.
the irrigation system.
I know.
And it needs to be one person. And if they're gonna change it, then they need to maybe say, hey, this is what we're doing, and we relay that to Kevin. But if we hire a contractor to maintain the fields, including the irrigation system, then that person needs to be in control of that system. If we have an outside issue, like being limited to 20,000 gallons a day, we need to say, hey, this is our limit, make sure you adhere to that, but he should still be in control of it. He can't, because every time he shows up, he says, oh, someone messed with it again.
Right. Now, does he, because obviously he's going to have to go through and winterize the system. So does he have control and access to that system?
He has access. The problem is multiple people have access right now.
I told him to put a lock on it. I said, just lock it up. And he said, well, it has a lock on it. And he said, but the problem is every irrigation system has the same key, every Hunter system or whatever it is. So I said, well, just get your own lock put on it, so you have it, so you're the only one that has access to it.
Well, you're gonna have to have, Kevin has to have access to it too. Bottom line, town needs access to it. You can certainly have it so that Kevin, town, and the landscaper has access only, but it can't be the landscaper only.
The key really has to get Kevin and him together for the spring season so that they're on the same page. That it's watering it at night and we're using the full amount and they've agreed on the times and the zones and everything else at that point. Because I think they're going in conflicting each other's ideas on how to do it right now.
All right, so maybe we table this until spring. I mean, what's done is done. Hopefully it comes back in the spring. They have sliced seeded. I don't know. Just in comparing the two fields, they both look poor. They both looked poor early on. Sawmill has seemed to have come back. And if they are regulated to 20,000, I don't know why Dara looks so poor.
I mean, the grass area of Dara is probably half of what Sawmill is.
Yeah. And it just is. I was there this past weekend and it's like, wow, it just looks sad.
They had a rough summer, no doubt.
Sad looking field. So I guess we table it until spring and stuff. Start again. And then the only other thing I had on there was Winterfest, that's underway.
We had a meeting last night, and pretty much same group of volunteers, it seems, and, a lot of interest to help out, get it.
Yep.
So, I think same
Good.
format for the most part with a few additions, changes, but.
Same weekend, February 12th through the 14th. And the only thing I think we're gonna request this time is complete, last year, I think the past couple of years, we've run into pickleball later in the day when we're still cleaning up. So we're just gonna request full Sunday, because they're walking in when we're still cleaning the floor, taking things out. It just is, takes a while to clean up. So,
Oh, yeah.
that was-
Maybe I'll be here this year, not in Florida.
hey, that would be good.
That would be nice. What about Turkey Bowl?
I'm gonna call, Jason Allen has kind of run with that, so I'm gonna let him see if he wants to do it. But
Well, is it going to be, it was supposed to be at Sawmill last year. It was here because of this blizzard, or
Right.
snowstorm. Is it gonna be back at Sawmill this year? Because we were discussing putting up the, rink.
Oh,
we were talking about maybe trying to get the frame up in November, and we said, well, what about the football game? Is it gonna be in the way? And then we thought, well, if we had it there last year, it should be at Sawmill this year. And that's always iffy, because if you do get a snowstorm, then you can't really get in there. But,
Right.
it's
I mean,
not-
the Benny to having it at Dara too is you've got the pavilion, which was well
True.
used last year.
Was, yeah, well, yeah, because of the weather.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how much size of the field, I can't imagine the ice rink's gonna impact the small.
Yeah, well, we could
size
just
of
shift
field,
the-
just move the field over.
Shift it
further.
over, yeah.
True.
Technically, it's their home year. I mean, they allowed us to use the
Right.
north side to use their field last year because we didn't have access, but I can see him thumping up the storm saying it's our home year.
I will, I'll call him tonight.
Yeah, probably having the pavilion's nice, it's true.
I did get a request from a town resident that played in the north side that just moved to the south side and he wants to stay on the north side team.
Oh,
And how do we address that?
He shouldn't have given he shouldn't have said anything.
Oh.
He just should have left it alone.
Thought it was an interesting request.
You know-
how many
We'll see, no,
touchdowns,
no.
how many touchdowns did he score for us last year?
He didn't score any touchdowns.
They can have him.
I had one reception. We only scored, what, 3 TDs? I think we all know who, yeah, okay.
I didn't get to go.
All right, anything else?
I think that was it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. 400, we're done. Thank you.
Excellent.
You guys elected to this or you volunteer?